Hello guys, John with you, and it's time for another update on the Sherman. It's the ZVEZDA Sherman 1/35 scale. It's a new kit for 2020 from ZVEZDA, and as you see, we've all the construction well finished by now, and we're into the painting. Last time you saw it, it had the black and white pre-shading done. The bottom section had already been done. We did that a bit earlier, but now we're on to the upper hull and the turret. Okay, as you can see from that pre-shading, it's after kind of we've got our tonal variation. It looks a bit kind of starkish at the moment, as in you can kind of see the blotches here of different colours, but that'll all sort of blend in later on when I start doing some washes and some oil, little bit of oils work on it. I started doing work there with dot filtering and oils there recently, and I really like the effect of it, and I want to kind of continue on my learning curve regarding that. These are just the decals there. Continue on my learning curve with that. I did a little bit on the 88, and I kind of like the effect of it. I want to kind of try it a little bit more. See can I kind of perfect it a little bit. Well, maybe not perfect it, but get better at it, shall we say. Get better at it. As you see, I fitted the decals. Very few decals on this particular version of it. It's the US Marine Corps version in Tinian. There's 2 per side. It's just the 2 in the turret and 2 in the body. It just says Caesar there. Okay. One thing I have noticed though is if you look at the picture that they give you for it, this Caesar decal transfer sticker seems a lot better. Sorry, a lot bigger on the drawing. Okay. Than they do in the actual tank itself, so I don't know. They're on it anyway. Okay, I've also got all the detail painting done on the tools, right? The antenna, the machine guns. As you see there, I have the vision blocks there with the periscopes. I used clear blue on them, and really like the effect from that. I think it looks much pretty nice. Well, it looks much nicer than sort of leaving them plain anyway, and I know they wouldn't have been blue glass back then. I know that the more modern ones do have that kind of a bluish effect to them, but it's kind of an anti-glare thing really. But I just thought it looked nice on it. It makes it kind of stick out a bit, and you can see it there. It's got the bluish in them, so I like them. And the fact that I like them, I did them. Simple as that. Right. Okay. What else can I say about it? Nothing really. Just I used NATO green. Okay, which was the colour I used for getting that's the green that I have on it, which is XF67 NATO green. That's the green colour. Okay, and you can darken it or lighten it as you go on, but so you can lighten it by using white and things in the paint, or you can also use it even at this stage. You could kind of lighten it off with that sort of oil paints and a couple of dots and blending it in, and that'll kind of lighten it off a bit. There's also another way, sort of when the whole thing is done, you can kind of lighten it off a bit by giving it a kind of a dust coat with buff, XF57 buff. Basically just hold your airbrush back at least 6-8 inches, even 10 inches away from it, and giving it a very light quick spray, and that'll kind of just give it a little bit of a dustish coating, which also lightens the paint on it. I have been playing around with the stowage. I've been painting up different bits of it. I don't like it. I just don't like it. The detail on it is not great. It's okay, say, on that side. As you can see, there's a couple of ammo boxes and things like that. But I don't know. I just don't like it. Right? Simple as that. I don't like it. So I'm not going to go ahead with it on the vehicle. Okay, I'm going to stop it there. I'm not going to waste any more time playing around with it. I don't like it. Okay, so bye bye. And I know somebody said that if it's an American vehicle, it does have to have storage on it for an American vehicle. But from what I've noticed, yes, if it was based in Europe, most definitely if it was based in Europe, but on their sort of island hopping campaigns, not so much. They did have a bit of storage on some of them, but in general, it depends at what stage of the campaign it was. If it was in, say, the first couple of days, they wouldn't have had storage on it. Depends on the sizes of the island. Then, if they kind of were going to go deeper into the island, they would have sort of stocked up and gone to their sort of refueling and all that kind of depot, stocked up on extra storage, and then fucked off into the jungle. But for the Tinian thing, anything I've watched on the Tinian, any coverage, actual footage of it, I didn't see any tanks with storage, so I'm happy enough not to put storage on it. Okay. So next step now for this will be to start getting it all weathered up. Okay. Now that glass coat is nicely dry. I did that last night, as along with the decals. I've left it dry overnight. Glass coat is the glass coat I always use, which is Aqua Gloss from Alclad. Okay. If you've never really watched any of my videos before and this is your first one, this is the stuff that I use for my glass coat. Okay. Alclad ALC 660. Aqua Gloss from Alclad 2. It's a nice, good hard wearing gloss coat, and it gives a nice base for weathering, especially if you do the type of weathering I do, where I use sort of, lately I started using oil paints and making my wash down with them. Bit of oil paint and a bit of white spirit, and I only use the cheap white spirit. I don't use the artist's white spirit or anything like that. I even use the cheaper of the oils, not super cheap oils. Don't buy the real cheapy pound shop stuff. But Winsor & Newton, you buy that size. In Ireland, it's about an average of about €5, so it's probably about £3 or £4 in England, maybe $4 or $5 in America. For that size, you probably could get it cheaper. Go to, say, some of the larger stores and things like that. But sort of, for the amount you use, that would last you a couple of years. Okay, so when you're getting that kind of use out of it, feck it, why not, you know? And for the white spirit, I use the plain old simple pound shop stuff, the cheapest of the cheap. I don't really mind it. It doesn't cause any problems. Well, it hasn't caused any problems before, so I can't see it causing any problems now. So what I do is I make down a little bit of wash. I use these kind of little cups things. Buy them in the pound shop as well. They're little sort of plastic disposable shot glasses. I make my wash down in them. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to do a pin wash in black. Okay, so I'm going to go around all the seams around the around these applique armours. There's I did a bit of weld beads there, not very successfully, shall we say, but they're there anyway. In close up they mightn't stand up for scrutiny, but you know, even from a couple of inches, they're actually quite okay. Actually, we'll even sort of get them even closer. Okay, and that's quite okay for the weld seams, because considering, I mean, they were just plain pieces that were just kind of stuck onto the side of it. So if I just left them as they were, they wouldn't have been so nice. As you saw when I was building it, then I used a bit of putty and made my seam, my welds out of putty, and it kind of did the job. There's loads of little divots and places in there, and areas down along here and across, and even these little sections here, they'll take a wash absolutely lovely and get things to kind of stick out a bit. When I have the wash done, then I'll do a little bit of dot filtering. I'll use white and yellow ochre, I think is what I've got. Yeah, you've some yellow ochre. I've got some burnt sienna and white, and just a couple of little dots. A clean flat brush. Okay, make sure it's nice and clean. Keep your brush nice and clean, and downward strokes. Keep coming down, and it'll eventually just kind of blend in. Barely notice it when you're doing it. But when everything kind of dries in, you say to yourself, "Oh yeah, it does look better." You don't want it to kind of stick out and make it look extremely obvious that's what you've done. You're going for the really subtle effect of just, you know, general staining and fading and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so that's what you're kind of going for. Well, that's what I'm kind of trying to go for anyway. So we'll see how it works. I'm going to give it a blashed, so as they say. Give it a good old Irish try. God loves a trier, and that's what they say. Hates a chancer but loves a trier. So I'm going to give that a go, lads, and on the next update you'll see whether I've been successful or not. Okay, so I'm going to leave this update at that. Don't forget to join me for future updates. Today is Thursday, so do join me tomorrow night, Friday night, for the live show. Make it sound really exciting, don't I? It's not. It's just alright, just come on and just sort of chat away with people. Hopefully we won't get any trolls. If we do, I will endeavour to sort of bump them off the thing. Someone told me how to get rid of them. Just go onto the little lines at the dots at the side, click that, and I can kind of kick them off. So hopefully I won't be too distracted by that. Like I said, I'm new to all this kind of technology type stuff. Never used it. Didn't use it in work. I was in the army, sort of, and I was only an infantryman, so we didn't have the technologies and things like that signallers or cavalry would have had. But so I never really got to use computers and things like that. And what I know about computers, you could write on the back of a postage stamp with a large, thick black marker. So you know, in other words, you're not going to get very much information there, and I don't have very much skills when it comes to computers. Very basic. But like I said, I'm going to leave it at that, lads. I'll catch you in the next one. So in the meantime, stay safe, be nice to one another, enjoy your modelling. Hope you're following this thing. Hope you've picked up one or two tips. If you have, you have. If you haven't, then, you know, hope you've enjoyed sort of watching this thing coming together as much as I've enjoyed making it anyway, because I really have. It's a lovely kit from ZVEZDA. I definitely recommend it for anybody out there. It's a lovely build. Everything fits beautiful, and you end up with a kind of a nice model for a finish. You know, whatever way you paint it then is up to you. I was going to go mad and give it a camouflage scheme, but I decided not to. I decided to stick to the box thing. So that's it, lads. I'll catch you in the next one. So all I can say now is go and buy yourself a kit. Build it and enjoy it. This is John signing off. Catch you on the next one, lads. Ta-da.